So I'm going to show you, I'll give you a training model for this. And I'm sure you've heard this before. You should never start with a blank page. Have you heard this? Right? If you want to write, don't start with a blank page. I'm going to show you how to never start with a blank page. There's a general skill here. I mean, imagine the blank page as kind of a whiteness, right? A white thing in a white space, no boundaries. It's all anxiety, right? It's all ignorance. And then what you do is you just kind of put a line through it, right? You separate it. This is very good for when you're planning assignments. Now you have at least a before and an after, right? Or we could also do it this way, a top and a bottom, right? A beginning and an end. You give it some kind of structure, right? That's a good way of doing it. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to say this is a before and an after. It's actually from one day to the next, right? So let's just, it's Monday. So let's say Monday to Tuesday, right? So it's one day to the next. And then I want to remind you that every day comes to an end, right? And I want to suggest to you that it should come to an end, your school day should come to an end well before you put your head on the pillow, right? Sometime in the late afternoon, maybe before dinner or something like that, you should say, I'm not going to get any smarter today. No more justified but true beliefs will be acquired, right? No more topics of conversation will be mastered by me today, right? I have read, I have talked, I've listened to my teachers, I'm done, right? At that point, take 5, maybe 10 minutes, but no more than 10 minutes, right? Take a very small moment and write down one sentence that expresses one thing you know. And at the same time, resolve at the beginning of the next day, at some time, some specific time, like 8 o'clock, right? To compose a coherent prose paragraph about that one thing for 27 minutes, right? Every time you give yourself that task, you will become a better writer, right? Every time you go through that, you'll become a better writer. Now, some people make the mistake of thinking, oh, great, I can take something I learned today, decide to write about it tomorrow, and now I've got some notes for what I learned today, right? First thing problem with that is you're learning much more than just the one thing, so don't rely on that process. The other thing is, half of the things you're learning today, you'll find out tomorrow were wrong, right? I mean, you're not going to understand everything the first time, right? So you'll be making up your mind about stuff, it will turn out to be false beliefs, not true beliefs, right? So don't rely on stuff that you just learned today. Pick something that you knew already before the weekend, right? Something you knew already last week, something you still know today that you knew last week, right? And if it's even older than that, that's fine as well. What you're doing is taking knowledge out of the equation, right? You're saying, tomorrow I'm not going to concentrate on whether or not I know this. Tomorrow I'm going to figure out how to write about it, right? The knowing problem is not going to be the one I'll deal with tomorrow. It's the writing problem I'm going to deal with tomorrow, all right? So that's what you do. You just take that problem out by saying something I already knew well last week, pick it at the end of the day when I'm not getting any smarter anyway, and then don't think about it for the rest of the evening, and then write about it first thing in the morning. Take a 3-minute break where you don't do anything and get on with your day. You're done, right? If you don't want to do 27 minutes, that's fine, do 18 minutes.